Hello, poor people. How are you today? Very quickly, I'm going to give you advice that has changed my life. And not only that, pulled me through the tough times. You see, all pain is psychological. For instance, if an athlete finishes first, I don't need to be behind to holler cheers of dopamine. He feels it naturally. Happiness is a byproduct of that experience. Conversely, if an athlete finishes last, he is sad. So you see, that is the same finish line, the same human being, perhaps different jerseys, but different experience. Pain is what you make it to be. Pain is not what causes pain, but the interpretation of circumstance. So if you are in a unique position to convince yourself how to respond to activities, then you have won in life. And it's easy for me to sit and tell you when something bad happens, you should respond positively. But my friend, I have been through difficulties. There are times where I thought nothing was going to happen. So it is difficult for you to lose the job. It is difficult for you to lose money. It is difficult for you to bet all your fortune on an investment and it doesn't pull through. Thinking positively in that situation is very difficult. So believe me, I understand the pain, but the advice I want to give you is you're never going to be happier or less anxious or less depressed once you've achieved your goals. Posting happiness or deferring a kind of feeling to a future event is only going to leave you disappointed because your current position was once a goal. You truly aspire to be in this position. You told yourself, when I get here, when the business achieved X amount, when I make XYZ figure, then I'll be happy. And where did that lead you? Right back to me. So, everybody, or you're still going to feel the same level of anxiety, depression, worry as you are currently. I'll give you an instance. At the infancy of my career, I used to be worried. Okay, let me just get X amount so I can start this business, so I can start this goal, so I can do XYZ. Now, when I've started the business, the worry is how to get clients, how to take the business to the next level, what is the next phase of the company, how can I hire this person. Now that's achieved, is how can I expand this business beyond the shore of Nigeria? And I'm sure the next phase will be Africa. So you see, it's a never ending process. You're always going to keep adjusting the goal. And that is how humans are supposed to be. Because anything that isn't growing is dying. If your business becomes stagnant, it's only a matter of time before you lose it. Not necessarily because of some abstract means, but if you're not constantly innovating and adapting to new technology, first, you're not going to be profitable. Secondly, you would lack the efficiency to serve your customers better. Nobody likes going back. Nobody loves to downgrade. You would not be loyal to a brand at the expense of your service. So just because you like this restaurant doesn't mean you're going to enjoy a bad meal. You would be loyal as a customer to point out that mistake. But if they insist to be rebellious and not take your advice, then it's out of your hands. You leave. So if you're static, like the typewriter industry, for instance, at the infancy of computers, they had the unique opportunity to innovate, to pivot, and take advantage of their already growing brand. But they decided to be static. And when it or when they indeed changed markets, it was already too late. So it's the same thing with you. Pivot, adapt. Let's stay on course. I believe we are diverging. Be happy. Stop waiting till something external happens, or you meet this person, or this thing happens, or the business gets to XYZ. Then I'll be happy. Or if I make XYZ income, or if I approach this lady. In fact, you placing your confidence on some externality shows how fucked up you are. Imagine getting to a point where you truly believe if this girl accepts me, it means I am. Are you fucking mad? That is disgusting. That is the highest level of stupidity I have ever seen. For you to get to a point where your validation is placed on someone, it is asinine. Someone as chaotic as a woman who cries when she feels like, throws a tantrum when she feels like, exits the relationship just because she's no longer happy. Is that the kind of person you're placing your emotion on? So it is asinine. Stop deferring your happiness and forgetting the present, forgetting the ability to maximize what is in front of you, waiting for that ideal time. My friend, it never comes. Unfortunately, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but it never comes. And even if it does, if you're in that small category of 0.00% of people who have that experience, it's only a matter of time before you're chasing something else. Remember, as a child, there was this birthday party you wanted to attend, you obsessed about it all week, you brought a dress in advance and you would sleep next to it, you would fantasize how much fun you were going to have. As soon as you arrived, it was a big flop. Exactly. So enjoy your life as you would if the external event has happened. In fact, not only are you relieving yourself from stress, worry, you're also taking advantage of the power of manifestation. Remember, the whole premise of manifestation is assuming an identity. So doing that thing places you in that category. So for the sake of time, as always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.